right quick. So when it comes to yoga and oils, we're obviously going to be putting them on people. People are going to take them in and all the things. Essential oils are chemical constituents. You have to practice safety. Some oils are going to be hot oils, which means when you put it on your skin, it's going to be hot to the skin, and it can cause chemical burns to people. These are medical grade, so you cannot just utilize them like they're oils from a store. Like, you have to have some education, which is why Jillian wanted to do this, so that you know what you're doing to people and how to dilute them. So if you're going to use something spicy like peppermint oil or whatever for yourself, or somebody buys one at the desk and they're gonna take peppermint oil home, hey, before you put that on your skin, make sure that you're diluting it with the coconut oil. And if you need to reach out to Allie because you're not entirely sure, that's great. Let them reach out to me. I'm happy to share with them how to properly dilute that so they don't take it home and use Deep Blue before they go into their hot yoga class and then go, oh my God, my skin is burning off my body. And FYI, if you have that situation where you're in a class, and I had a girl who took peppermint and then I told her not to, but then she pressed it into her face and her cheeks were turning red. I always have fractionated coconut oil on me for that reason. So I just was like, here, pump it out. Water is not going to take that sting out. And all she had to do was massage the coconut oil into her face and then breathe it out for 30 seconds and it was fine. So it's oil, not water, because of the oil. So we'll have some fractionated coconut oil coming so that in case something like that happens for a class, you know how to tell them to utilize it. If it's children, we don't teach children here, but obviously if someone's going to purchase an oil and take it home to be used on a child, it must be diluted way more than it is diluted for someone like us. Again, they are medicinal grade essential oils. Safety is a must. Less is more. And when it comes to yoga, so we all have this awesome little sheet that I gave you guys to take home too. It's just the essential oil and yoga practice. This guy right here goes over some of the basic stuff that I talked about, quality versus whatever you're using, what are essential oils, what are the benefits for, and then 3 ways to use them. But if you flip it over, it's got some really cool stuff about essential oils and actual postures. So obviously as yoga instructors, we know some of these things, like a standing posture is going to build strength and muscle, spine. Okay, but what kind of oils, if that's what I'm focusing on for my aroma flow class, or if I teach a vinyasa and I want to use oils, you can incorporate this into any of the classes and classes that you already have, including Pilates reformers, because if you have someone who always comes to class and complains about my knees always hurt in class, awesome. Let me share with you some lemongrass before you even start your class so that you can massage it into your knee joints, because lemongrass is a joint regenerator. In a potent quality like this, if you have pain and inflammation in your joints and they need to be lubricated, lemongrass can do that for you. Now, it's not going to take dead nerves and rebuild joints that have been demolished, but if you have something that still hurts enough in there to be able to help alleviate that pain, lemongrass will do that for you. And if you're someone like me who has bad joints, I always rub on lemongrass before I start working out to be preventative, so that when I get home, tomorrow I don't have my old lady knee, as I like to call it, where I'm moving around because, oh shoot, I overworked it. I just massage it, so it's been stretched before I start. So, and there's all kinds of little suggestions on things you can do. The studio has a reference book that will be left here. It's this guy right here, and if anybody wants to peep at it after, they totally can. And it has ways that you can look these things up. So you can go by actual diseases. So say I want to focus on stress relief for this class. You can literally look up stress relief and it'll give you 20 different oils that you can utilize for stress relief. And then you can decide how you want to utilize that in your class to go with that. If you want to look at a specific oil, you can also look it up by specific oils. So hey, I'm vibing some frankincense. What else does frankincense do, and how do I choose an oil that goes with it because I want to use 2 oils in class? It tells you what it blends with, what body system it hits, what chemical constituents are in it, so the limonene, the actual science stuff. And then you can even go further and look up sleeps. I want to go by a specific herb that might be in the oil. This reference book does all of that, but the basic, it makes it nice and basic if you want it, and it gets more and more complicated if you want it, basically. And here, check that guy out, by all means, that's gonna stay here. I have other reference materials, myself personally, if you ever want to examine the emotional oil book, you might wanna look at that and see the difference between that book and physiology versus psychology. And the reason essential oils work in your brain when we do the yoga and how it enhances them is that basically your limbic system, the sense of smell is the only of our senses that connects directly to your limbic system. Your limbic lobe in your brain is where we hold all of our memories, all of our emotions, all of our trapped traumas, all of our joy, your anger, your fear, your happiness, all comes and emanates from that space. So how do you track that space? Because it is only directly attached to scent by smell. What are essential oils? All smell compounds. So basically you breathe in the odor, triggers the olfactory nerves in your nose, and it triggers an electrical response to your lobe brain, and chemically you can control your emotions, your heart rate, your blood pressure. All these things can be controlled from your limbic system. And they have recently found, one more cool fact, that every organ in your body has an olfactory lobe. They only thought it was your brain. Guess what? Every organ has an olfactory space. So if you can attach olfactory smell to every single organ, I mean, scientifically, logically, that is why these essential oils work, because if they are pure chemical constituents, they can literally control your hormone release, your organ, your blood pressure, your heart rate. You can do so many amazing things in your yoga class with these oils. And basically a class, when I do an aroma class, runs like this. Usually when they're a full-size class, I utilize 3 oils. I'll start in the beginning and I'll do an oil that comes with pranayama because I start all of my classes with breath work. So I'll use a cleansing oil. Purify, breathe, peppermint, something that's going to open you up, get you ready so that you're not struggling to breathe through the entire yoga class and it's taking you 30 minutes to catch your breath before you can even enjoy what it is that you're doing. Because we all know that even happens in yin. About halfway through the class, oh, and when I do an oil, I always option, tell them about the safety. Everything is pure, it is completely safe for topical usage. If you do not want to receive an essential oil, this is your class, this is your practice, please turn your hand palms down and I will know to respect your wishes. That way I'm not embarrassing anybody to go, I don't want it, I want it. Turn your hand palms down. If you'd like to receive, turn your hand palms up. I put them in a seated or a laying down posture where they're not struggling to sit in the posture so they can receive nicely. Give them their welcoming oil. Close your eyes once you receive your oil in your hand palm, maybe avoiding your fingertips so you don't get it in your eyes. Cupping your hands over your nose and mouth. Take 3 to 5 deep inhales just like I did for you guys with every single oil. And then I offer them somewhere to put it. Peppermints for your chest. Rub it on your chest if you want. If you don't want the oil on you, rub it on the bottom of your feet. That's an option as well. If it's for the stomach and that's what I'm focusing on, I have them rub it on their stomach. Or I say just rub it on the back of your neck. Most people will put it where I first tell them because they want to experience that. That's why they're in the aroma class. Even people who weren't in my aroma classes were doing that, and that's why Tuesday's now an aroma class, because I just always offer an oil. In these classes here, because they're 50 minutes and I want to respect their time to get their yoga postures, I generally only offer 2 oils. One in the beginning, one for Shavasana to calm them. Sometimes, like on my Wednesday, they like the oils and they've requested all 3 oils come through. So halfway through the class, I will put them in a posture where they're sitting and marinating but still have access to their hands. And then I'll come through with a calming oil, something that's for like your digestive or nervous system calming, anxiety calming, because when you're sitting for long periods of times in a posture, you're probably building up some intensity. And that's probably why they like when I come through with a second oil, because they're like, oh, okay, I can get back into my yin. I can get back into my space. It gives them a minute to pause and come back into the room. But for what we do here, offering 2 oils. And when I offer the oil in the beginning, I let them know, just like I did for you guys, I'm going to be coming around with your first oil. Turn your hand palms up if you'd like to receive, down if you don't. I'm coming with peppermint. Peppermint is going to, and write it on a little note card. That's what I do for Kate. I put it on her phone or whatever when she subs my classes. And then she just takes a little blurb about what she wants to say about the oil so people know that they can take it on or what they shouldn't. And if it's a little too much for your skin, let me know. I have some coconut oil I can give to you because it's a hot oil for the peppermint. I've only once had somebody press it into their face all the years I've been doing this after I told them not to. Only happened once, so you probably don't have to offer that, but if you want to. And then for Shavasana, obviously something calming, something relaxing, and I put them in Shavasana, and I say, anybody wants their Shavasana oil, hand palms up, hand palms down, and I give them lavender or serenity or frankincense or balance. Whatever it is that I'm physiologically working on for my class, or maybe I just want to give them something to go home and sleep because the energy in the room is crazy and people feel like this. I've changed oils mid-class, and when you start to use them a lot, or if you bring them into your own life, then you'll have things that you like to use and you want to do. And I think that's about it. Yeah. Any other questions on bringing it into your oil class?